Do you have the perfect Christmas presents yet? Christmas is almost here. It's the last Sunday before Christmas actually gets here. And if your life is anything like mine, I have lists and lists of things to get done. And I have the perfect presents that I have to get for everyone I know. On this Sunday during Advent, though, the church reminds us we light the candle that represents peace, Christ's peace. And the other thing we get is the story of the Annunciation. Luke shares with us Mary's conversion story. I mean, Mary was faithful already, right? But all of a sudden, she's going about her business just like everybody else does in life, and an angel appears. Now, I don't know about you, but if an angel showed up and said, hey, I got a message from God, I'm not sure I'd be as calm as Mary appears in this gospel. I think I'd be a puddle on the floor and couldn't listen. But then Mary's Mary, and I'm not, right? But she listens, and at that point in time, the angel says, do not be afraid. And then she's given the news. She's been chosen. She's been handpicked. She is the one filled with grace. Now, Mary has that choice. She can say yes to God's calling for her, or she could say no. And thankfully, we have the privilege of knowing Mary's story. We know she said yes. But what's the price of that yes? She's a good, faithful Jewish girl in biblical time. What happens to people who are all of a sudden pregnant out of wedlock? They can be stoned to death. So Mary puts her hands into the trust that she has for God. And at that moment, when she says yes, the Word becomes flesh, and she becomes the God-bearer. She becomes the first disciple, the one that is going to start the evangelization to the world. At the same time, I always found this curious, that the angel tells Mary that her cousin Elizabeth is also pregnant. Now, Elizabeth was a little more elderly and had been past her time to bear children. So this news must have been shocking to Mary as well as Elizabeth and her husband. But that's okay, because Mary again takes on the call of God and goes to care for Elizabeth. She is of service to Elizabeth. And when John the Baptist, who Elizabeth is carrying, hears Mary's voice, he leaps for joy inside Elizabeth's womb. And that's the moment Mary starts to evangelize. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that exactly what we need to do? Billy Graham, a very known American evangelist, said the greatest gift we can give to anybody was telling them about Jesus Christ. The greatest gift. So you know what? If you want to get somebody in your life the perfect gift, why not tell them your story about your relationship with Jesus?